Good night, everyone. Welcome back. It's your favorite doctor, Dr. Leo. Today, we're going to talk about perceptions and how perceptions affect our relationships. So, perceptions are one of the main causes for conflicts or breakups in relationships. Now, like I said before, the relationships we're dealing with is not just romantic, it's either family, friend, or romantic relationships. So, what is a perception? A perception is an opinion or belief that may be inaccurate or untested. In other words, no proof, no evidence, nada, zilch, nothing. It is also the key to how we assign meaning in our interactions with others. Now, because of this, it has a significant impact on how we communicate our day-to-day dealings with people and how we understand how they communicate with us. Now, we are all guilty of this, including me. We assume that everyone thinks like us. That is not the case. Everyone is unique. Strengths, weaknesses, differences. And we cannot expect everyone to behave like us. We cannot expect ourselves in other people, and we cannot expect other people to deal with situations how we would. So, when this happens, that comparison between us and others, resentment builds up. Now, we all know what resentment is. We become resentful when the other person does not do what we think they should do, what we think that they should do in a specific situation. So, the question is asked, how does perception affect our relationships? So how we interpret our relationships is highly affected by our past relationships. And a cognitive map is formed. Now, what is a cognitive map? In simple terms, a cognitive map is a person's mental model for any given process or concept. For example, I am used to being disappointed in relationships. People, this is just an example. Don't come for me. Do not come for me. So I am accustomed being disappointed in relationships. So my cognitive map is I will generally look at relationships as disappointing. So in my mind, relationship equals disappointment. And that's my cognitive map. As individuals, everyone has a cognitive map, and that is dependent on their relationship past. So you search, dig, and see if you could tell me what your cognitive map is. Now, after you figure out what your cognitive map is, and while you do that, I'll tell you about myself. So back to me being disappointed by my relationships. Now, because of this, my self, me, moi, I find it difficult to trust people, or I am overly sensitive to anything that indicates to me that this person is going to leave me. And that is what my cognitive map has done for me. Now, that's just one example of how perception is linked to our past relationships. It influences how we see and interact with our present people. So our family, our friends, and our partners, relationship partners, romantic relationships, that is. And that's regardless of what is happening now. That the perception doesn't take into consideration, oh, this is what's happening now, let me look at this, let me see the roses. No. Perception follows that map to the letter. It is better than Waze, it is better than Google Maps. Trust me. Now, perception is an ongoing process. With an awareness of how our past can influence our future and how our perception is our own interpretation, people will find better ways to communicate. Hopefully. Hopefully, people will find better ways to communicate. Now, over time, individuals can rewrite their cognitive map. So, I am accustomed being disappointed, and that's my cognitive map. But because of other experiences, my cognitive map is now being rewritten. So I now know what it is to be happy. I now know what it is to trust someone. I now know what it is to have somebody that I could depend on. and my cognitive map is being rewritten. So, while individuals can have, and it will happen, can have their cognitive map rewritten, and while it's being rewritten, you begin to see others and new relationships through new lens. New lens. This is new. Yes, thank you. I know, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Anyway, so you begin to see a relationship through new lens. And it's also based on your experiences and not those relationship failures that you've had in the past that were holding you back. And yes, they were holding you back. That is the beauty of the human mind. It's one of the reasons why I studied psychology. The human mind is a beautiful, beautiful place. It really is. Some are dark and dangerous, but for the most part, it's beautiful. So we have the ability to create our own reality and to change the way we experience the world by simply changing the way we move through it. So I thank you for tuning in to Therapy Tuesdays, and I hope you will join me next time. Your favorite doctor, Dr. Nero. Bye.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on.